The TrekWorks YouTube channel is sponsored by Tenant Controls, makers of lighting kits, soundboards, and more. Tenant Controls brings your models to life. And by HDA Model Works, suppliers of scale model lighting products, detail parts, and complete model kits. Visit HDAModelWorks.com today. Hey there everybody, Boyd here with you again, and it's time for another quick update on our 1/350 scale Battleship Bismarck build by Revell. As I mentioned at the beginning of this whole thing, we're not going to be doing an in-depth build series here on the channel, but I'll come back from time to time and show you guys little updates on some progress I'm making on it here and there. I've been working on the front part of the ship here a little bit. We've got some more work done on the forepeak. Since the last video, you can see right in this area right in here, I've added some photo etch details. You have the little kind of doghouse thing there in the center that's an entrance to the lower decks, which we've added, and we have some open hatches and skylights there in this whole area right in here. You have to kind of bend those parts and get them painted and put on. That's actually about an hour or two worth of work there, but it adds some really nice little detail onto the model. I've got the little bollard put on in between the two capstans right here, which has some photo etch detail parts on the top of that. Got that all painted. That's pretty much it for the forepeak area. We're going to be coming back later and doing the auxiliary anchor and some other small stuff, but we don't have the deck glued down yet. We're still working on all the superstructure and everything. I wanted to point out, since the last video, I found a little mistake that I made. My guns were painted wrong, guys. I had the barrels of these things with dark where they come out of the turret and then light at the tips. Well, as you can see here in this picture, it's exactly the opposite, and I looked at my Bismarck pictures and found out I made that mistake, so I went back and repainted those and fixed that, made it accurate. So we got that going on. Now here I'm working on a little bit of midships, and you can see I've got these first boat deck level cabins installed here. This is the walls for those. So we're starting to get up into the superstructure part a little bit. So I'm going to be lighting this model, as you guys know. So you can see I've got my light strips there put in, just the basic LED tape in warm white, and I've got my wiring routed down in there into the bottom. What I had to do is light block all these because we didn't want light to come through the plastic. So the same way I do my Starship models, I painted them on the back side with some black first, and I've got all the portholes drilled out in these, as you can see, and each one of those portholes has a little brass photo etch detail below it of the the open hatch lid there. So that was about 100 or so of those that had to go on. That took a little time, but I like that little detail on there. So once I got them glued down, I went in the inside here and I put a bead of glue all the way around the whole area toward the bottom, and then just took a paintbrush with some black and painted that whole thing so we didn't get any light leaking out down here around the edges and stuff, and it wouldn't look good. I'm going to go in the same way I talked about here on the hull. I'm going to block off some of these portholes so that they don't all light up and look like a Christmas tree, just so we have some, and it'll kind of give the look of some individual cabins and stuff, look more realistic. So we're going to do that throughout this whole thing. I'm getting ready next to drop down the upper deck on this. We've got more of that simulated wood from MK1 to put on there, and then we can start building on up into the superstructure, and it'll really start looking like the Bismarck then. So it's coming along pretty good. The only thing that I've done here at the stern is I've added the rudders. I'll come back and add the propeller shafts and propellers probably towards the end, because we're going to be handling this model a lot and moving it around and everything while we do all this work, so don't want to knock those off. The propeller, or the rudders, are pretty stout. They have a big thick shaft that goes all the way up inside the model with a bulkhead that you glue on the inside, so those are pretty strong. Got those all painted and everything. The main part that I've been working on, guys, is this part right here. This is the funnel, or the smokestack. It's kind of the main area in the center of the ship, and you can see this has a lot of detail on it. It's kind of a model in itself. We've got a lot of photo etch parts on this. I want to show you the cool thing about this. We've got two of those super detailed searchlights installed from that kit that we showed you that came with this model from Veteran Models. Each one of those searchlights has about 10 parts that go into it, and it just really brings up the detail. I looked at these compared to the kit supplied parts, and there's just a huge difference. You get all that detail. You even get all the little hand cranks that go on there in brass, and you get the lens and everything, and you get the nice shutter detail that goes on there that you can really see, and they look fantastic, so I'm really happy with that. These aren't going to be lighted. We're going to light the very forward one that's above the Admiral's Bridge so that it does that Morse code effect that I talked about once we get our control board and everything in here from Tenant Controls. But again, we have all the railing and the ladders, and it was a couple good hours here of work to put all this together and get it all painted. Got some photo etch detail inside the stack itself. We have the clamshell doors here for the auxiliary searchlights. They could either be displayed in the open or closed position, but most of the time when they were at sea they were closed. And it's supposed to be painted that lighter color like you see here, so we've done all that research and everything, checking that out. But it's real tedious, time-consuming work. You guys out there that build these know exactly what I'm talking about. So nice little accomplishment there. So this is pretty much done. We're going to set that off to the side and start working our way up onto the main superstructure now. Build up the Admiral's bridge and everything, and start adding all the railing and the small guns and all that tiny detail. We got to build the aircraft hangar, the little seaplanes, all the little boats, a lot of stuff. Going to work on the rear turrets here. So everything's coming along really good. I'm really having fun with this, and just like I said, working on it a little bit in my spare time. So I hope you enjoyed that little update. Okay guys, we're going to come back here, pause really quick. I'll mention that I went to the Model Fiesta 36 show here in San Antonio this last weekend. Had an absolute blast. Met several of the guys from the modeling community. A couple of them, Rick Berger and his friend Tony, they flew all the way down from Seattle, and we hung out with those guys all day talking models and checking out the show, and we had an absolute blast. They really enjoyed the show themselves, and they are already talking about coming back for next year. They said it was one of the better shows that they had ever attended. So yeah, it's a great show. It's one of the bigger shows on the IPMS circuit. So we brought home some kits. We won some kits in the raffle. We bought a couple kits, and we brought home a couple of awards for the models that we entered in the show that I'm really proud of, and I'll show you what those are in a little bit. And we're going to come back this Sunday on the Model Shop show and show you a slideshow and some video from the show of the models that were in the contest, and some really beautiful stuff to see, guys, so I hope you'll check that out. That'll be broadcast here on the TrekWorks channel this Sunday night at 7 o'clock p.m. USA Central Time. So hop on by and check it out, guys. We hope to see you there. All right, back in a second with a look at what we brought home from the show, everybody. All right, well, here we are with a look at the haul that we brought home from the model show this year. And they had a raffle going on all day, so we had a couple of raffle tickets, and we won a couple cool little kits here. We'll show what we got first. We got this really cool 1/35th scale Willys Jeep World War II version. I've actually had my eye on this kit for a while. Every time I go to Hobby Lobby, I keep seeing it there, and looks like a really nice little kit. I opened it up and checked it out. It's really detailed and everything. A little bit on the small side, but we should be able to have some fun with that. We'll get to that one a little bit down the road here on the show or something like that. Here we have this World War II British Paratroops in Action Set A from Bronco Models. This is in 1/35th scale. These guys look to be really, really detailed. You even get the vintage bicycle with one of these guys here. So not sure what we're going to use these for, but heck, it's free. Can't complain, right? Pretty cool little kit. We'll come up with something for that. Then we got this really cool 82 Pontiac Firebird from MPC. This is a recently released kit. I'm not sure if it's a repop or if it's a brand new kit, but it's a really nice kit. A lot of detail. It's got opening doors, opening hood and everything. It's kind of got the look of the old Trans Am GTA with the nice wheels and everything on it. Nice black paint job, so we'll do a build-up of that here on the show or on the channel here in the future and take you through that whole thing. Looking forward to that one. And then a kit that I saw at the show that I just had to have. I talked about this a little while ago. I've been wanting this model ever since it came out. This is the Hanabu 2 from Squadron Models. It's an experimental German flying saucer from World War II. The Germans were actually working on trying to get supersonic vehicles using electromagnetic drive, kind of their own version of the Area 51. And this is just a super cool kit in 1/72 scale. You know, it's a huge model. It's about as big as this box. So it's got an awesome, you know, camo paint job on it. It just looks like something that could be like right out of Indiana Jones or something like that. So we're going to do a really fun build of this at some point down the road. You know, maybe do a diorama, get some in-scale vehicles. It's 1/72 scale, so I'm sure there's a lot of, you know, German trucks and stuff like that out there. Maybe we'll build some kind of machine in the background that looks like it's hooked up to it, you know, charging it up or something, and some scientists working on it, or, you know, maybe in a secret underground facility or something. We'll have fun with that, so you guys can look forward to that. It's going to be really fun just painting the camo job alone. It's got a highly detailed interior in it too, so really, really cool. So I'm glad I got that one. I actually got that cheaper than you can buy it at Squadron too, so sometimes you can get deals at the shows. Here we have a couple of awards that we got. I was really happy and really proud to get this award called the Flying Kirk Award for Best Star Trek Subject. I had one of my 1/350 scale Classic Enterprise builds there on display, and we got first place in the class that it was in. We also got Best Star Trek for that. And like I said, this is an IPMS sanctioned show, so the judges are really picky, and they get down on your models and, you know, look at it with magnifying glasses and you know, pen lights and everything. So in order to get first place, you have to have a pretty nice model. So just to kind of, you know, give a testimony to the quality of the work that we do here for our clients and everything. And I'm really proud to have gotten that one. Here we have the best NASCAR subject. We built that number 9 Bill Elliott Dodge Intrepid RT in red here a while back on the show, or on the channel. You guys got to see that build up here. Just did a quick little video on it, and that got the best NASCAR award, so I'm really happy about that. Here we got first place for our Fast and the Furious Dodge Charger that we did a while back, the one in black. I got a lot of compliments about the paint job on that model. There was a lot of competition in that class, you know, a lot of cars where these guys, you know, they do all the aftermarket wheels and all that, but our kit was pretty much box stock. We just put a really good paint job on it, and I did a little bit of scratch building on the interior to make it more accurate, if you guys remember, and I modified the grill and all that, so our little work we put in that paid off. And here's our first place award for our class that we had the Enterprise in, for sci-fi ships and all that, spaceships. Then we got several third place awards for some of our dioramas, our Nostromo, our Space Jockey, and a few others. I'll talk about this a little bit more. As I mentioned in the model shop show this week, we're going to have a slideshow and show you the models that were on display in the competition area and everything, and a little bit of video with that, and I'll talk about the awards that we got a little bit more. But hope you guys will tune in and check it out. It's going to be a good time. And again, we had a blast with the people from the community that showed up. What better time can be had than hanging around with your friends and looking at models and talking models all day and eating some good food and all that. So looking forward to next year already, and hopefully we'll get even more of you guys to show up. So you'll be glad you did. It's a big show, and it's a really nice show. The level of modeling skill on display there was just absolutely fantastic. It was a great turnout on the contest side this year. So all right, everybody, that's a wrap for this video. We'll be back again in a couple days with the model shop show on Sunday night. Again, that's at 7 o'clock Central Time, USA, on the TrekWorks channel for the live stream. You can join in our live chat session when you hop in there. I've got a lot of folks that join in on that every week. We've got usually over 100 people in that every week, and they're a really good bunch of people. If you got modeling questions or anything like that, they'll help you out, or just talking about what they're working on. So it's a good time if you're into building models. And then later next week, I'll have another update on what we're building here in the shop with some stuff going on. We're starting on the Jolly Roger kit here on the show this week, so another ship that we're going to be working on. You guys get to follow that all the way through. So until then, everybody, we'll see you next time, and until we do, take care out there, and happy modeling, everyone.